friends. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to feature a build that I did. This is, I won't call it old, but 10 or 15 years ago I built this one. But what you're looking at here is a 71 Dodge Charger Super Bee. And if you know much about the Mopars of 71, there was some changes that were going on and some consolidating going on. It's the first year that the Super Bee name was applied to a Charger, and for the longest time it was the only year, because after 71 the Super Bee disappeared for a long time, up until more recently with the four-door Chargers that have been out. But this is kind of a conversion from the AMT kit. But first I'll get a little bit more into the Super Bee and what it was for 1971. As you know, it was built on the Coronet line, and the Coronet line disappeared after 1970. Well, the Coronet RT and the two-door Coronets, they did keep the four-door and the wagons, but the two-doors that the Super Bee was based off went away, so they moved the Super Bee over to the Charger lineup. And also there was they had a number of Chargers. So they had the base model, the custom, the 500, the SE, the RT, and the Super Bee. So there was a lot of options. So it gets a little confusing to keep track of that. But the performance models were the Super Bee and the RT. And what's interesting is the RT was, standard engine was 440. Then you got the 446 pack and then the Hemi in the RT. The Super Bee was just a little bit cheaper. Base engine in the Super Bee was a 383, and then for I believe it was $44 more, you can step up to the 340. So kind of interesting that the 340 and the 383 were not available in the RT. But after that, then you had the 440, the 446 pack, and the Hemi. And one of the things that I thought was interesting was some of the production numbers. Since this was actually cheaper than the RT, but not by much, it sold nearly twice as many. It was something like, what did it end up doing? The Super Bee was 5,054 units. I had to look at my notes. And then the RT, only 2,659 were made. But the RTs were a bit more rare and a little more expensive, but not by much. And when it came to the engines, so few of them were actually 440s. I did this one. The kit came with it was basically the RT with a 440 in it. So I kept the 440, although I could have did it as a 383 or a 440. But when I was reading this, it had the 440 decal already and the 440 decals for the hood. So I decided I would just leave it as a 440. But when I was doing the research, I found out they made a lot more 446 packs than they did the actual 440 model. But just a little less of the Hemis. So it was something like 22 Hemis and 26 444 barrels. But it was 99 446 packs were done in the Super Bee. But the Hemi was still super expensive. So it's kind of weird that the 444 barrel and the 426 Hemi had real similar production numbers in the Super Bee. But this particular kit, I decided to do a couple options. So it's not built right out of the box. And matter of fact, AMT had a Super Bee Charger kit where they had the Super Bee emblem, but it had the Ram Charger hood. I have that kit, and it has, if I remember right, it doesn't really have the stock wheels. And it's got a Hemi in it, but the Hemi in it is a dual overhead cam Hemi. Or an overhead cam Hemi, not really a dual overhead cam. I think it's two cams, one on each head. But I'd have to look at that again. But I know I bought the kit, and it wasn't exactly stock. But when I built this one, I started with the stock RT kit and converted it. So some of the things I did was I had to change out the hood insert. So I cut the hood insert out because they are different. And so I put in the different hood insert. This one I left the front bumper and grille alone. And then the rear is a resin insert. But I had actually cut out the entire insert because the RT has the angled lenses and then the regular Super B, and then the SEs had this tail light, and most of the regular Chargers had this tail panel. But what's interesting is if it has the painted bumpers, which I think when I do the Hemi Super B, I'm going to do the painted bumpers. The painted rear bumper setup, I use the RT taillights. So the kit issued rear bumper is correct for a Super B as long as you paint the bumper. And I'm pretty sure that's how that is. And then the front bumper, I'll paint that one as well when I build that one. So I want to do another Super B, but do a Hemi Ram Charger Super B with the painted bumpers. But this one I did this way, kind of doing it as mid-level, kind of a base model, not really a whole lot of options, but did the wing and put the front spoiler on. So those are done, and the Super B was available with those as long as, same with the RT, and it shared the same stripe on here. So I got that stripe on there, but the RT had the doors with the 2 indentions in it, but the Super B did not. The Super B used the regular Charger doors. So, and then the Super B emblem here. Now these decals are actually from Keith Marks. So those decals are from Keith Marks. And then the resin bumper insert, and then the hood insert, and even actually the exhaust trumpets that are down here, those are resin. All that's from AFX and Scale, which are no longer around anymore, but that's how long ago I bought these. And when I bought stuff like that, I tended to buy extras because, sometimes. So here's a hood insert that I had done or purchased that I haven't even used yet, and it had 383 in it. And I sanded that and used the 440 decals. But here's the insert, so you can cut the hole out of the hood and glue this in place. And then here's another bumper, although this one I had cast after I had made this one and put the inserts in it. So this one is a mold that I had made and cast with the insert in it. And then I believe since then somebody else was casting. Actually, I think it was Kevin at Misting Link started casting a rear bumper just like this in his own. But I had already done this a long time ago. But and so I still have this bumper, and I may use it one day. Another thing that they did, but I didn't use on this one, is they had the Hideaway inserts here. So here's some of the inserts, which ironically I got 2 of them here, and they say Dodge on both sides, when that's really supposed to be just the left headlight door that says Dodge and the right headlight door doesn't. But what's kind of funny about that is if you pick up just about all of the MPC 69 Charger kits, the Dukes of Hazzard kits, and some of the variants of that, they've actually got these in the kit. They're in the trees, but they're not really mentioned. You can glue them on top of the bumper that's in there. Although these are really the 71, 72 Hideaway headlight covers and not the ones that the 69 uses. But they're in there. But they don't have the Dodge. So it's kind of funny to think that there are 2 rights in the kit, and when I bought these resin ones I got 2 lefts. Not really sure where they came from. I think they might have come from the original 71, 72 MPC kits that had them, because I'm pretty sure my 72 Charger MPC kit has them. But this one's an AMT kit, much later tool. But it's a beautiful kit. I mean, I love this kit. I don't know how many. I built 2 of them, so this is the one I did as a Super B. And it's pretty much, as far as the kit goes, right out of the box, other than those few modifications I did to make it a Super B. So everything under the hood is right out of the kit. Hoses, everything, the AC compressor, the lines, air cleaner, all of that is right out of the kit. The hot air tube and the heat riser that's on the exhaust manifold. And you really don't see that in these kits. So all of those parts are right from the kit, and I didn't do anything, but I've actually used this chassis and engine compartment in a lot of my other builds, kit bashing them. And then this one, I painted the underside and had a good old time doing it. Although I now know, but I didn't realize back then, this is actually welded to the floor. So I painted it black, but it really should be body color, and only this cross member should be black. But I missed that on the first ones of these builds, but there's so much detail under here. I painted all the parking brake cables, and the body plugs are there. and all of that. And then, like I said, I cut the exhaust and I notched the roll pan back there a little bit for them. So I really like this build, and I'm really happy with it. And I really enjoyed doing this. So I hope you enjoyed looking at it and checking it out. But it's you know, not my only charger. I got a bunch of other chargers, and we'll get to them and show you them. But I really enjoyed building this one. And there you can see the hood, the blackout, and then the insert. And then the underside where I'd cut it out, you can really see where the insert is because the underside isn't done. But still looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm not going to complain. You know, it makes a variant that wasn't available in kit, which, you know, it's one of the reasons I like resin so much. You can get different results with the same kit, besides going different colors and some of that stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and please leave any comments or that you have, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching, and hit that bell button so you can get any of my latest uploads. But thank you, and you guys, you have a wonderful day.